Hi again, everybody. Welcome on in. It is Super Bowl week. It is National Letter of Intent week. There's so much going on in our great state in the world of football. Senator John McCain is going to be with us tonight on Carson Palmer and what the senators saw out of him. Kurt Warner from San Francisco on his Hall of Fame candidacy. He's a finalist. And also, does he think Peyton Manning is going to retire? We'll hear from Peter King, the Monday morning quarterback. He'll join us from San Francisco at the Super Bowl as well. And Jared and Jason will have our Rock and Refuel recruiting roundup with National Letter of Intent Day this week. That's all straight ahead. But first, right off the top, brought to you by V's Barbershop. V's Barbershop bringing back handsome. Guys, head on in to V's. Okay, Senator John McCain joined me earlier on the show and weighed in on Carson Palmer and his meltdown against Carolina. Listen, what do you say to Carson Palmer after showing like Carolina?
I would say that as a fellow loser, I would tell you that you gotta put it behind you. You gotta put it in context. Has anybody ever seen a game like the Green Bay game? And I do believe there was something wrong with his finger. I don't care how often they deny it. And I also think that his judgment was poor, obviously throwing into coverage like he did. But that shouldn't detract from an exciting season that we had with great coaches, great young men, one of the superstars of the future in the Honey Badger. We should be so happy, frankly. And by the way, in the next couple of days, I got to go to the floor and praise the Panthers because I had a stupid bet with a senator from North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to that chore. But look, after crying all night, I then recovered and looked back. We should look back at what an exciting season we had.
Bruce Arians today out at the Waste Management Open, part of Dream Day. Terrific event for Arians and Brian Urlacher, the former great Chicago Bear, current Cardinal quarterback Drew Stanton, all out there helping out the Special Olympians. What a great event and a great day put on by the Thunderbirds.
This is special. I flew back just for this event, and I wouldn't miss it unless we were in Santa Clara in the Super Bowl. It's a very special day with very special athletes.
Always nice to unwind at the end of the season, and when you get to come out here and be a competitive setting, but also have fun. That's what it's all about. And I think it's great to be able to play here in Arizona and have the support of this community. So anytime you can get out and interact with all of our fans and all of the athletes out there, it's a great thing.
It's just fun. I don't get a lot to do a lot here in Arizona, community-wise, because I lived here a few months out of the season when I played, so it's nice to come out and kind of meet some people and do different things like this.
So one of the interesting Valley stories around this year's Super Bowl is Kurt Warner. He is a Hall of Fame finalist, and he joins us now for a couple of minutes. Is this your year to get in?
No idea. It's just one of those things. 2 years in a row, one of the finalists. Honored to be in that mix. I believe that I'm part of the mix this year, but there's so many great candidates every year that you look down the list and you could make an argument for each and every one of them. So when and if it happens, it'll be awesome, and it'll be a tremendous honor and completely humbling. But, I don't hold my breath at this point, that all this stuff is just icing on the cake, because I'm just so grateful and thankful for the career that I had and the things I was able to accomplish, and honored to be in this position. And now we just sit and wait, because the hard part's over. Going out on the field and performing, that part's done. Now it's left up to a bunch of guys who have a really, really tough job, is trying to delineate between all of these guys and who belongs and who doesn't, or who gets in this year and who doesn't. A thankless task, because I think you can always make arguments for other guys, but it's just so hard to break it down and try to, figure out who fits in the mix from year to year.
Talking with Kurt Warner. Carson Palmer, what advice would you give him in this offseason after what happened at Carolina?
I don't think there's any advice for the offseason. I think what we saw, the work that he put in, coming off the ACL and to get back last year, I think it all showed up for the first 17 weeks, and the hard part is you never can really simulate playoff time. You can never simulate that pressure. You never simulate the fact that you're playing against really good teams that know what they're doing, and you can't make mistakes. And I think that's really the only knock that you can have on Carson this year, is just that he didn't play his best football at playoff time, but he played tremendous football, an MVP candidate. I mean, all those things that you ask. So you don't go to the offseason and go, well, change a whole bunch of stuff. No, you just have to work through whatever that was at playoff time, whether it was just good defense or whether it was him just a little, too hung up with a situation or not being able to calm the nerves. You just have to hope you can get to this point again, and at that point you can settle in and start to play your best football, or settle in and play good football for your team at those moments. And I think that's, I'm sure that's the most disappointing part for Carson, is that all year long, I mean, he played tremendous football and really, got this team where they were, and then to play less than that level at critical moments is never any fun for a quarterback. But we've all been there. I mean, we've all had those moments and those struggles in the midst of maybe a great season, and it's frustrating because so much of this league is quarterback driven, and especially at playoff time against good teams and good defenses, you have to get good quarterback play. And so I don't change a thing other than, hope you get back here next year and that the team as a whole and Carson individually plays better.
Can a player be damaged, Kurt, over something like that, given the magnitude of the game? It wasn't week 6 against Chicago or something. This was the one game away from the Super Bowl. Can a player be damaged from that?
Do you mean personally?
Yeah, personally, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, always. I think that, the nature of this business, especially at the quarterback position, is the ability to have thick skin and the ability to, I used to have a coach that said one snap and clear. That no matter what happened on the previous snap, whether you made the best play or the worst play, you got to clear it and go on to the next one. And, I think the great ones have the ability to do that. They can go out and throw 5 interceptions and, don't have my best stuff, but then they go on to the next one and they can make the big play to win a game for you. So I think there's no question that, guys can get stage fright from having made mistakes, and it makes them second-guess themselves and they lose the confidence. Or there's other guys that, get into those moments and they didn't play well, and they learn from it and they scrap it and they don't allow it to affect them the next time out. So I think different guys are different ways, but what I know is that you can only play this position one way, and that's having full confidence in who you are and what you do and being aggressive every time you play. And you're going to win some and you're going to lose some, but once you lose that edge, I think it's very, very difficult to be really successful at this level.
Do you believe this will be Peyton Manning's last game, regardless of the outcome in the Super Bowl?
I do. I mean, I just, with all the struggles that he's had physically, unless you really believed you were going to get healthy again and be able to play at the Peyton Manning, level from a couple years ago, I don't understand the point. I mean, I know there's some records out there that I'm sure he'd love to break, but for me, this is, a perfect situation, is that you didn't have your best stuff this year, yet you found a way to get your team to the Super Bowl, and I think there's a big tip of the hat that goes to that, is that we all want to be the guy that throws it 35 times for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns every game and carries our team to a Super Bowl. But I think you can take great pride in the fact that there's different ways to lead and different ways to win. And Peyton showed that this year and got his team to another Super Bowl, his 4th Super Bowl, which puts him in rarefied air from that standpoint. And as I said, not having your best stuff and really not having it for the last year and a half, I think it's going to be hard at this point to believe you're going to come back and be that guy again. So, what better scenario than to have broken a number of records this year and set yourself up, in a special place in the history of the game, but then to go out playing in the biggest game. I don't think it gets much better than that. And obviously if he could win, I mean, it would be a perfect ending. But just being in this game, I think, says so much about what Peyton, did this year and the kind of leader he is. And I just think for me, it's a perfect way to go out.
Look forward to seeing you at your event in March. I know that's a great time for you and yours. Appreciate the time as always.
Sounds great. Thanks, Brad.
Up next, Peter King from San Francisco, the Monday morning quarterback with Sports Illustrated, the latest on the Super Bowl buildup. The Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup. Letter of Intent Day is tomorrow. Jared and Jason will have all the information on that front. And of course, all of our content up on our website at sports360az.com. Sports360az.com.
What's America's best-selling brand of trucks? You're in for a big surprise, pal. Actually, you're not. It's Ford F-Series again, and it wasn't even close. Same trucks that have been leading the industry for 39 straight years. Why? Game-changing innovation, like F-150's high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy, which helps make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. Innovation. It's why Ford F-Series is making every other truck brand history.
With a name trusted for over 75 years, you have the compassion of the cross and the security of the shield, giving you the power to do more. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, the company trusted by the Phoenix Suns. Live fearless.
Hey, it's Sam from Columbus Craft Meats, and she brought in a charcuterie board. Now, I've heard about charcuterie. What is this all about? It looks amazing.
Well, we like to think that charcuterie means tasty salami. And so today I brought in our peppered salami and our amazing Italian dry, and I paired it with some sweet and savory items, just as you can do for any of your entertaining needs. It's very simple.
Appreciate Sam stopping in. You can stop in at any major retailer and pick up Columbus Craft Meats and do the same. That's Columbus Craft Meats.
Rock and Refuel on your campus and in your community. A high-quality natural protein beverage that tastes great because it's made with real milk. Whether it's rebuilding muscle after a workout or building strength to get ready for game day, Rock and Refuel helps you reach optimal performance by giving your hard-worked muscles the protein they deserve.
We love Rock and Refuel!
Rock and Refuel starts with real milk, ends with real results.
What's America's best-selling brand of trucks? You're in for a big surprise, pal. Actually, you're not. It's Ford F-Series again, and it wasn't even close. Same trucks that have been leading the industry for 39 straight years. Why? Game-changing innovation, like F-150's high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy, which helps make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. Innovation. It's why Ford F-Series is making every other truck brand history.
Hi again, everybody. Thanks for checking us out tonight. Did you know there's more content than just this TV show that we do? That's right. Head over to sports360az.com. Sports360az.com. We're Arizona centric. Doesn't matter if it's pro, college, high school. Videos, blogs, all sorts of content around the scene of Arizona sports. It's all there for you to check out at sports360az.com. That's sports360az.com. Let's go to San Francisco now. Peter King, the Monday morning quarterback, Super Bowl 50 coming up this Sunday, Denver and Carolina. I know you're busy. Time is short, so we'll get right to it. What's your big takeaway 2 days into this week, Peter?
Oh, that it looks like this is going to be it for Peyton Manning. And if indeed it is, just my opinion, Brad, I think Wade Phillips holds the key to this Super Bowl in his hand. He's done a great job against Roethlisberger with that scheme in that game, and then obviously with Brady last week, basically very rarely blitzing in the game. And if you look at it, I just think that if Wade Phillips has a great game, I think Denver's going to win. If he confounds Cam Newton, Denver's going to win. But the other thing is Peyton Manning's got to not turn it over. He's played 2 straight games without turning it over after being a relative turnover machine during the season. So I think those are the key things that I look at right now.
The Hall of Fame, you're going to be in the room this week. Kurt Warner is on the ballot. I had Kurt on earlier. Do you believe he gets in this year?
I think he's got a good chance, but I think this is a very unpredictable year because there's Brett Favre and then there's about 8 or 9 guys who are very worthy, like Warner. There's Kevin Green, there's Orlando Pace, there's Joe Jacoby. There's just so many guys right now who are close. My feeling is that I think Warner is deserving. And every year I look at this and I say, boy, there's many more than 5 guys. 5 is the max of those 15 that we consider. There's more than 5 who I think are worthy. And the bottom line is you only got 5 spots. Mm-hmm. So will he get in? I'm always a bad predictor on that, Brad. I don't mean to duck the subject, but quite literally, I get it wrong all the time. My feeling is coming into this, that Kevin Green is going to be number 2 after Favre, and then you get into a bit of a logjam, Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, you get Orlando Pace, you get Joe Jacoby, you get Kurt Warner. You get a lot of guys who I think are close after that.
Last question. How is Cam Newton handling this week? I said last week I believe there was going to be some backlash towards Cam Newton, much stronger, obviously, because it's Super Bowl week, than what we've seen about how he handles himself on the field. I don't get all wound up about that stuff, but I am seeing it. What about you, and how's he handling himself?
I don't get wound up about it either. He faced the press one time now for an hour last night, and I wasn't present for that. I was with Mike Shula and a couple other people. But, you know, he seemed to do fine. He tried to diffuse the whole, any racial element to the game, which I think is smart. This is not a race issue. Right. To me, it's an over-exuberance issue. I mean, people aren't down on Cam because he's black. People are down on him because they think he celebrates too much on the field. I'm not. I agree with you. I'm 58 years old. I'm yesterday's news. I'm the past generation. So I try to look at the young generation and say, if this is the way it is, what's so bad about that? I've told this story a few times in the last few days. That it's like my father hated the Beatles when they came to America. And my brother said to him, my older brother said, Dad, it's just hair. And that's kind of the way I feel about Cam. It's just a guy smiling and celebrating on the field. Big deal.
Are you going into this writing about Peyton Manning retiring, or are you going into this looking at the game?
I don't know. I mean, I'll see what happens in the game, but I'm going to be around the Broncos as the pool reporter for their team this week, so obviously I'll be watching him. So naturally, I would think that I'd be writing some about Manning, but we'll see what develops.
Stay well. Safe travels. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Brad.
Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup right around the corner with Jared and Jason. Letter of Intent Day news and notes, and of course all of our content up on our website at sports360az.com. sports360az.com.
What's America's best-selling brand of trucks? You're in for a big surprise, pal. Actually, you're not. It's Ford F-Series again, and it wasn't even close. Same trucks that have been leading the industry for 39 straight years. Why? Game-changing innovation, like F-150's high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy, which helps make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. Innovation. It's why Ford F-Series is making every other truck brand history.
With a name trusted for over 75 years, you have the compassion of the cross and the security of the shield, giving you the power to do more. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, the company trusted by the Phoenix Suns. Live fearless.
V's Barbershop, bringing back handsome. Nationwide with 30 locations, America's best barbershop is V's.
Rock and Refuel Protein Milk taking over the campus. Rock and Refuel is a high-quality natural protein beverage that tastes great because it's made with real milk.
Rock and Refuel in Shamrock Farms.
It's available in muscle recovery and muscle building varieties. Each has the protein your active lifestyle demands.
Protein, 30 grams of protein.
Rock and Refuel. Pick one or several up today.
Hi, this is Sam with Columbus Craft Meats. It's the perfect time of year to entertain, so stop by your major retailer near you and pick up your Columbus Craft Meats. That's Columbus Craft Meats.
V's Barbershop, what a great place. Nationwide with 30 locations, America's best barbershop, bringing back handsome. That's V's Barbershop.
With a name trusted for over 75 years, you have the compassion of the cross and the security of the shield, giving you the power to do more. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, the company trusted by the Phoenix Suns. Live fearless.
It's signing day week on the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen, as always, and we have a ton of commitments to get to, a lot of news, getting you ready for signing day. Let's start with the commitments for the 2016 class that happened over the last week. John Akwali out of North Canyon had a crazy week, but ultimately he sealed his commitment.
Yeah, early on it looked like he was going to commit to Boise State, then Utah State, and both ended up filling up. And to be honest, that's the reality of recruiting. It just happens sometimes. But, thank God that John was able to have some other schools in the mix, and he took his last visit to Wyoming, and he committed to the Cowboys while he's up on his visit. And what kind of player are they getting? Because he was, as you mentioned, pretty sought after once news got out that his recruitment had changed. Early on, he had Pac-12 offers. He had Washington State, and he had Colorado, not to mention the other offers that he had. He's a guy that I think could play on either side of the ball. He's known as a receiver, but you watch his tape, he's a hard-hitting defensive back, so I think he can play on either side of the ball at Wyoming. Let's get over to the Big Sky. NAU and Montana in the mix, offering some guys here and getting commitments late. Let's start with NAU. Yeah, NAU got Desi Etheridge, a safety out of Red Mountain, hard-hitting kid, guy that I really, really like. Thought he was a very underrated player. NAU was his only offer, surprisingly, at the Division I level. He took it last weekend on his official visit. And Montana got two players that you've just been talking about for months. Yeah, the Grizz have done a good job recruiting here, have several other kids committed. Got two more, got Randy Rodriguez, the defensive lineman at Centennial. Another guy they think is very under-the-radar guy, plays very, very hard. And they got Josh Egbo, a running back out of Highland, who they're going to convert to a defensive back. Isaiah Goodspeed becomes the first Division I player football-wise out of Joy Christian High School. Yeah, he committed to Air Force on his official visit, so congrats to him being the first in his school history, set in school history over there at Joy Christian, won their state title. Big-time get for Air Force. Big Roy Lopez committed over the last week. Yeah, this one kind of surprised me. Going to my alma mater, he committed to New Mexico State over Utah State, so the Aggies beat the Aggies on that one. But, I like that one. The biggest deal was that New Mexico State was going to give Roy a chance to play on the defensive line where most everybody else was recruiting him as an offensive lineman. And that wasn't it for New Mexico State. They added a special teams player. Kind of special teams and scholarships in Arizona has been a theme here. Yeah, it's the second special teamer out of Desert Vista High School. Connor Culp's committed to LSU. Well, their punter, Peyton Thiesler, committed to New Mexico State as well. And then let's talk about out of Columbia, a big one, a smart kid, Caleb Pitts. He's going to be going to the Ivy League. Oh, the Hamilton wide receiver, and Columbia is getting an absolute steal. What a senior season this guy had. He had a Division I offer from Army. Again, a steal for Columbia. And let's get into some offers. One quick offer, better late than never, right, for the 2016 class, and this player from Williamsfield. Yeah, Noah Gerald, their defensive end and All-Arizona pick, got offered by Montana. And then how about some 2017 offers, Jason? Nebraska came in and wanted to get in the mix for some of the top guys in this class from this state. Yeah, they go after Tyler Johnson. The Cornhuskers offered him. KJ Jarrell. And Isaiah Polomau from Mountain Point. So, those three kids, all four-star guys by Scout.com. And then it wasn't the only offer for Jarrell. He also had Mississippi State and Utah. And then how about a couple quarterbacks getting in the mix, starting with the young gun Spencer Rattler? Yeah, the freshman, the 2019 prospect, got his second SEC offer from Kentucky. Then the other quarterback, Chase Cord, Sunrise Mountain, got another Division I offer from Iowa State. So, Jason, signing day is upon us. Let's talk about some of the players that'll be on your radar once the pen hits the paper, but guys that haven't committed yet. Yeah, so obviously it's going to be the defensive lineman, Connor Murphy, picking between USC and Oregon and Michigan. DJ Davidson out of Desert Ridge, picking between Memphis and Central Florida. And the other Brophy player, Dante Diaz-Infante, has a handful of other offers that he's going to pick from. And finally, Jason, let's put a bow on this 2016 class. What will you remember from this class as it pertains to recruiting? Not necessarily the play on the field, but what ended up resulting as their recruitment unfolded? on the show, we kind of focus on the Division I guys, and playing football at any level in college is huge for any kid, and it's something they should be proud of. But you look at the number of smaller schools, NAI and Division IIs, that have come in here and got some very good players. You look at like Colorado Pueblo, a Division II power, snagging DeJuan Lawrence from Joy Christian, a guy that had a Division I offer from South Dakota State at one time. But I think it's kind of the year of the small schools, guys leaving it and branching out and taking some of those smaller school offers.
And Adams State, also one of those schools. Hey, they have a former player that's on the Arizona Cardinals roster now. So it's any opportunity to go play football at the next level is a great one. And as Jason mentions, that is a prime example. That's it for the roundup. Signing day on Wednesday. We'll do a recap and then look forward to 2017 and beyond on next week's edition. But until then, that's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. It's the recruiting roundup powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity.
Should be a very busy next 24 hours with National Letter of Intent Day winding down. I know you Sun Devil, Wildcat, NAU, ACU fans from across the state, and of course, all the high school coaches and parents all excited for National Letter of Intent Day. We'll have plenty of content up on our website at sports360az.com around Letter of Intent Day, and of course, the Super Bowl. Jake Plummer will be with us on our show on Thursday night. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate you jumping on board. And of course, all of our content is up on our website at sports360az.com. Sports360az.com. I'm Brad Cesmat. We'll see you tomorrow night.
What's America's best-selling brand of trucks? You're in for a big surprise, pal. Actually, you're not. It's Ford F-Series again, and it wasn't even close. Same trucks that have been leading the industry for 39 straight years. Why? Game-changing innovation, like F-150's high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy, which helps make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. Innovation. It's why Ford F-Series is making every other truck brand history.
Hi, this is Sam with Columbus Craft Meats. It's the perfect time of year to entertain, so stop by your major retailer near you and pick up your Columbus Craft Meats. That's Columbus Craft Meats.
Kent Summers, Bobby Mack, and Dan Bickley, your Arizona Cardinals insiders. Your team, your experts, your #1 source for Cardinals football. azcentralsports.com.
With a name trusted for over 75 years, you have the compassion of the cross and the security of the shield, giving you the power to do more. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, the company trusted by the Phoenix Suns. Live fearless.
V's Barbershop, bringing back handsome. Nationwide with 30 locations, America's best barbershop is V's.
Hi again, everybody. Thanks for checking us out tonight. Did you know there's more content than just this TV show that we do? That's right. Head over to sports360az.com. Sports360az.com. We're Arizona centric. Doesn't matter if it's pro, college, high school. Videos, blogs, all sorts of content around the scene of Arizona sports. It's all there for you to check out at sports360az.com. That's sports360az.com.